Further north along the coastline, we're in the heart of fjord country. Wide openings reveal the start of giant inlets, some of which snake over 100 miles inland. Nick Crane's come to one of Norway's most famous fjords to explore a distant connection to our shore.
Would you look at this? Geiranger Fjord. What a view! And what a scale!
This spectacular fjord is nearly 9 miles long and over 700 feet deep. It looks extraordinary, very different to our terrain at home, but there are more similarities than you might think.
It's almost impossible to imagine that the mighty forces of nature that gouged out this landscape are the ones that also shaped Scotland.
Our connection to these rocks goes back millions of years. Here in Norway, we can still see how Britain was built, but to do that, I need to go high above the landscape. It's an epic story with action that really is groundbreaking.
We're heading inland to the uplands to find out how fjords were made. See how the forces that shaped Norway and Scotland are still at work. As an amateur geographer, this is one of the most exciting days of my life.
Ice, the irresistible force that can cut through rock.
What an amazing sight! That's the Brickstyle Icefall. It's like a frozen waterfall. This would have been a common sight in Scotland back in the Ice Age. What we're looking at is an almost vertical glacier. It's carving a U-shaped rocky trench out of the sides of the valley and carrying with it lots of rock debris which you'll dump further down the valley. It's an incredible sight. This is glaciation right in front of your eyes. It's happening right now.
The Norwegian and British coasts are connected by water now, but go back 20,000 years and the link was ice. A giant sheet of ice that stretched from Norway to Britain as far south as Norfolk. Our landscape still bears the scars of that moving crust of ice. It's eroded all but our toughest rock, sculpting the peaks of Scotland and gouging the deeply carved valleys of the Lake District. And what's so great about coming to Norway is you can see what glaciers in Britain might have looked like 20,000 years ago, before our ice melted completely.
Today, this monumental landscape seems to be at complete peace. There's a timeless stillness about it, but bits of it are far from still.
As the glaciers retreat inland, the steep cliffs either side of the fjords no longer have anything to prop them up. And every so often, great hunks of land just fall away, down into the fjords. The rich vegetation covering the cliffsides masks long, potentially lethal fractures in the rock.
Just look at this. This chasm has been formed because the mountainside is splitting. Parts of it are moving at 20 centimetres a year. At some point in the next 300 years, all this is going to thunder down into the fjord.
Up here on the mountainside, I'm meeting Kjell Ugerud, whose job it is to monitor the impending landslide.
Hello, Kjell.
Hello.
Very good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Can you tell me what is happening to this mountain?
Yes, as you see beneath us here, more or less everything you see is moving. And when these masses hits the fjord, they will transport down to the bottom, cross the fjord and move up on the shoreline on the other side.
This mountain will reach the far side of the fjord?
Yes, yes. And they will set off deposits across all the fjord and create quite a large tsunami.
A tidal wave?
Yes, yes.
As the land slides into the fjord, the tsunami will funnel down the narrow channels. 4,000 people live in its devastating path. It's not a question of if the tsunami will happen, but when. So the Norwegians have rigged this hillside with 300 sensors. When the land starts to move, they hope to have up to 48 hours notice to warn everyone in the area, by text message, automatic phone calls and sirens.
The tidal wave will come careering down Sunnels Fjord straight ahead here. It will go over the top of this ferry and hit Hellesylt behind us. Now the wave is always going to search for open water, so some of it will shoot up this side fjord, Geiranger Fjord, and up the end there's nowhere else for it to go.
At the very end of this fjord is a little town called Geiranger, home to over 300 people. I want to find out why they stay when they know that a tsunami is inevitable.
This is Geiranger and the head of the fjord. When the tidal wave reaches here, it has nowhere else to go. A catastrophic wall of water, 40 meters high, will smash into Geiranger and reach the spot where I'm standing now. All of these buildings will disappear in an instant.
One family's lived here for 500 years, almost 20 generations. Thomas Grand has his home and camping business right at the water's edge. He knows that one day in his lifetime, or his children's, or their descendants, the tsunami will come.
Why do you not move to higher ground where it will be safer?
Because we have our roots here. We like it very much here. It's a good place to grow up for Noah.
But when the wave comes, it will destroy your house. It will destroy this beautiful bit of foreshore with the grass and the ancient barns, the boat sheds. Everything will go.
Yeah, everything will go because it's just materials. The most important is that we can get away safely and that we trust. I think we will settle down again, move back and build it up again.
What does this piece of land mean to you personally?
I've been walking here since my first steps, so it's very important for me.
I'm really moved by this place, by the immense forces of ice and water which shape the fjords and which tell us so much about Scotland's early days. But I also wonder whether we Britons, who are facing rising sea levels and a changing coastline, can't pick up a tip or two from the people down there who have learned to adapt to nature's more ferocious moods.